Even though the Flash is the fastest man alive, that doesn't mean that he can't just walk around without clothes on, or I guess run around. You still see a blur, and preferably it's going to be a red one. So, which of the suits that we've seen over the past however many years the Flash has been a thing are actually just so insane that they're also great? That's what we're exploring today. Let's do it. In at 10, the Crash. Coming from Earth C-, the Crash is the fastest animal alive and a member of the Just a Lotta Animals group, which is this world's Justice League. Notice how it still says JLA. On Earth C-, everyone is some form of animal, and it's probably the most ridiculous thing that you could ever read. While his real name is unknown, the Crash is this universe's Flash. And not only that, but he's actually a turtle. In like a classic tortoise in the hare scenario, slow and steady wins the race to get super speed and a connection to the Speed Force. And I'm not even kidding, okay? He fights against characters with names like the Weather Weasel instead of Weather Wizard. Well, that's hilarious. I love that so much. Okay, The Crash was first introduced in Captain Carrot and His Amazing Zoo Friends number 14, which features other superheroes like Wonder Wabbit, What's Up Doc, Aquaduck, and Batmouse. And not a Batman that's literally a bat for some reason. I don't know why they went with Batmouse instead of just Bat. The Green Lambkin, and not the Green Lantern, but still. My personal favorite though is Green Sparrow. Along with a load of other ridiculous names like The Item, I suggest you go check these out if you're looking for a laugh, because man, this had me cackling, I'm not gonna lie. In at 9, Savitar. As a fan of the Arrowverse, I felt the need to include one of the most interesting evil speedsters from that series, or from those shows. This one being Savitar. And while sharing a name with another evil speedster from the comics, actually, in the show, it's revealed to be a time remnant of Barry Allen, being more of a future Flash than Savitar. Honestly though, he's a combination of both. His story though is pretty messed up. In essence, he made it himself, having like a chicken and the egg scenario where it's just an infinite loop. In the post-Flashpoint Arrowverse timeline, Savitar comes back from the future to kill Iris West before her and Barry can get married. This causes Barry to create as many time remnants as possible, which is basically a clone of himself, in order to stop him later down the line, and Savitar kills all of them but one. The one that he spares gets shunned by the rest of Team Flash for not being the real Barry Allen, even though he is still the real Barry. I don't know, it's weird. It's time travel. Time travel is going to be confusing. So, in an act of fury out of being shunned, the Time Remnant runs back in time, creating a new identity for himself as the first speedster and the god of speed known as Savitar. But the suit he wears allows for him to travel at basically instantaneous speeds, which the show Flash has not been able to do, even in like the recent season. And you can actually only see him if you are a speedster. Normal people couldn't see him, or at least while he was trapped in the Speed Force prison. But yeah, his suit is awesome. It's a freaking suit of armor. It's badass, okay? It's like Hulkbuster meets Red Death. It's dope. In at 8, Hot Pursuit. What is the Flash known for? Running really fast, right? Running so fast that he can beat instantaneous teleportation, which he has done in the comics. So, what's the deal with this Flash? Being first introduced in the Flash Volume 3 number 6, Hot Pursuit is a version of Barry Allen from another universe who came to warn his counterpart about an impending disaster, which ends up being Flashpoint. The difference is that this Flash doesn't run. He instead has a Speed Force powered motorcycle called the Cosmic Motorcycle. Yeah, his cowl is a motorcycle helmet and his suit is black and white. This version of Barry Allen doesn't seem to have a physical connection to the Speed Force, only being able to access it through his motorcycle. Unfortunately though, Hot Pursuit dies 6 issues later in the Flash Volume 3 number 12 as a part of the Road to Flashpoint event. The moniker of Hot Pursuit would later be adopted by Patty Spivot after she stole his gear from the Central City Police Department. Also, fun fact, the Flash showrunner wanted to bring back Patty Spivot and Julian Albert for the Flash finale, where it would have been revealed that they are now a crime-fighting duo called Hot Pursuit. In at 7, Speed Demon. A while ago, I wrote a list about the Amalgam universe that combined DC and Marvel characters, and I've mentioned it from time to time. And Speed Demon comes from that universe. A combination of Barry Allen and Johnny Blaze. Blaze Allen, not Barry Blaze or John Johnny Allen, was a circus daredevil who sold his soul to become the first speed demon. The demon component, Etrigan, was also formerly Jay Garrick before the Night Spectre stole Jay's soul. The Night Spectre approached Blaze and asked him to serve in his attempts to collect souls of the most pure and the most corrupt. Blaze Allen refused, so in an attempt to persuade him at his wedding night, Spectre stole Iris's soul. Blaze then accepts the bond, hoping to get Iris back, or at least to ensure her safety. Speed Demon only speaks in rhymes, but is a speedster with a flaming skull head that can also breathe hellfire. Yeah, Wally West, an amalgam of Wally West and Danny Ketch, was the next Speed Demon who accepted the power in order to help his uncle get Iris back, but I mean, come on, a fire-breathing, speeding ball of fire and lightning? That's badass. Hell yeah, I would do that. I want to cosplay that. That's dope. That's insane. And at 6, Future Flash. You know what? I actually kind of like the Future Flash suit, but the story of how Flash hates the Flash is definitely convoluted. And I'm not talking like Wally hating Barry. I'm talking about Barry Allen getting so mad at himself that he travels back in time to kill his younger version. Yeah. While Savitar was introduced as the Future Flash in the show, the real Future Flash is very different in the comics. When Iris and Wally get into a car accident, Wally dies and Iris gets paralyzed. Blaming himself for not being there, Barry becomes a much darker hero. He kills Reverse Flash, Mirror Master, and Grodd before turning his attention to the past. The Speed Force ends up having a tear in it, and Barry kills his younger self and uses the energy of that death to seal it. Good Barry then wakes up in a savage world, which is a place outside of time, and uses his intelligence to return to the normal world and fights against himself again. Although, given how the show kept mention of how Savitar remembers everything Barry did because he's just a future version of him, I don't know why Future Flash didn't see this coming. But yeah, it's blue Flash, but also not like the Blue Lantern Flash, so I don't know. I like it, but I mean, other people don't. It's my cup of tea. I like it. I also don't like tea. So halfway through into number 5, the Terrific Whatzit. Earlier I talked about the Crash, turtle from Earth C- that has super speed, but now I bring to you an even more ridiculous version, the Terrific Whatzit. Burton McSnurtle first appeared in Funny Stuff #1 in 1944 and was a World War II era hero. He has super speed, super strength, and can fly. The reason he's called Whatzit is because in an effort to conceal his identity, he takes off his shell when he puts on his costume, so nobody knows that he's a turtle. That's even funnier than the whole Superman glasses things, okay? And like, this version is a version of the Flash because he dresses like Jay Garrick with the helmet and everything. I'm not kidding. It's incredible, okay? I love it so much. And his name is McSnurtle. He's McSnurtle the Turtle. Hell yeah, baby. And in 4, Bizarro Flash. When Bizarro III found himself infused with radiation from a blue sun, he got the power to replicate himself as well as create other Bizarro life forms based upon the likeness of people from Earth, which is going to have a ton of legal repercussions, but whatever, that's aside the point. He used this power to create a cube-shaped Minecraft-like Earth he called Bizarro World, where one of the inhabitants he creates for it is Bizarro Flash. Bizarro Flash, not Bizarro, but whatever. The post-crisis Bizarro Flash is morbidly obese and super slow, which is just ridiculous, but he can, for some reason, fly at the speed of light, which also doesn't make any sense, but hey, it's comic books, what can you really do? Some versions of this Bizarro can still run fast, but get winded easily, so they don't really pose much of a threat. Certainly not against someone like Kingdom Come Flash, who never stops running. But this version of Bizarro Flash also has a line of mustard for a logo instead of a lightning bolt, which just makes it funnier, although I do have a craving for hot dogs. Getting close to the end, and in number 3, No Rules to Follow. In an Elseworld story where metahumans are hated, much like mutants in the Marvel Universe, 10 individuals with superpowers band together to try to get the world to trust them by doing good deeds. These people, who on another Earth would be known as the Flash, Shark, Fire, Dr. Light, Polaris, Power Girl, Poison Ivy, Tasmanian Devil, Changeling, and Metamorpho, unfortunately don't accomplish their goal, since their attempts to contain a nuclear meltdown make everything worse. After this disaster, metahumans go into hiding, and a few metas, Flash included, began raiding military bases that had previously attacked them. But after a battle with the quote-unquote Control Squad, which was a group of high-tech operatives with the Wayne Foundation created to fight the metahuman metas caused an even further split, resulting in Ivy, Changeling, and Metamorpho all hating the military even more. But when Superman showed himself, after some convincing, Wayne funded a new group made of the 10 original metas minus those who wanted revenge, and replaced those 3 with Blue Beetle, Booster Gold, and Superman. This new group, which was dedicated to upholding tolerance and justice for humans and metahumans alike, became known as the Justice League. But this version of Flash looks really weird, okay? It's like if Juggernaut was cosplaying the Flash, which is kind of cool, but also extremely terrifying. Penultimately, in at number 2, White Lantern. When Barry Allen became a White Lantern at the end of the Blackest Night storyline, he in essence became a god. I described this in Most Powerful Green Arrow's list, but hot damn do these dudes have some sweet powers. They can use any color of light from the spectrum of light, since, you know, white light is just a combination of all other colors, because, you know, I'm sure you've seen that album cover, you know, or at least the Eevee version of the album cover when it's like the prism and whatever. And you know that White Lanterns also have power over life, including the ability to duplicate their rings and resurrect people. Basically, anything you can think of, they can do it. It's actually insane. The White Lanterns are basically gods, but with many different avatars. Like whatever god you believe in, or like if you think of duplicating themselves, they would still have powers. Yeah, okay. White Lanterns are cool, okay? Just they're dope. And finally, in at number 1, Black Flash. The actual physical representation of death for all speedsters, Black Flash is the Grim Reaper of the Speed Force. Making his first appearance in The Flash Volume 2, number 138 from 1998, he was seen before the deaths of several speedsters including Barry Allen, Johnny Quick, and Bart Allen. He also tried to return Wally West to the Speed Force, however was unsuccessful, taking Linda Park instead, Wally's girlfriend. Black Flash eventually returned to try and claim Wally again, freezing time for everyone without a connection to the Speed Force, but thanks to the combined efforts of multiple speedsters, Wally was able to race Black Flash to the end of time, causing death to have no meaning, I guess. The CW Black Flash, which was really just Hunter Zolomon aka Zoom, was killed during season 3 of The Flash when Savitar lured him out of the Speed Force, and Killer Frost froze him, resulting in her first kill that actually also turned out to be her ex, which is, dare I say, ice cold. But that didn't stop the Speed Force anyway, since later in the comics, Barry Allen returned in the Flash Rebirth story, becoming the new Black Flash, so this is also a version of the original Flash, which makes it viable for this list. And if you like the Flash, or just going fast, be sure to click the video that's popping up on screen now. Do it quickly!